Let's graph another inequality, and this time we're going to graph one that has a equal to with the less than or greater than symbol, just to see how that one's different. Now, the first part of graphing an inequality is exactly the same, which is that the easiest way to graph it is to put it in slope-intercept form. You're not required to do this. You can, of course, graph by just making a XY table. So you don't, I guess, have to put it in slope-intercept form. If you're one of those people that thinks to yourself, I really want to do this problem in the most difficult possible way, then you don't have to do it in slope intercept form. You could leave it in standard form and try to solve it that way. But I don't recommend it. I like slope intercept form. It just takes 2 steps to put it in slope intercept form. And since our last step is to divide by a +5, we don't even have to worry about flipping the inequality symbol. Okay, so there we are. Just remember that negative x divided by 5 would be -1/5 x, and there we go. We got it in slope intercept form. The slope is -1/5, and the y-intercept is 2. Perfect. Okay, so step number 1 is get it in slope intercept form. And then step number 2 is we begin graphing it just like we would anything that's in slope intercept form. So we start with the y-intercept at 2. And then since the slope is -1/5, that means from the 2, we go down 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's our second point. And so we're going to get our ruler and connect those 2 points. Now, when we connect them, since this has an equal to line, we want to include the -1/5 x plus 2. We want to include -1/5 x plus 2. If it didn't have the equal to line, we would connect these 2 points with a dashed line. But since it does have the equal to line and we want to include -1/5 x plus 2, we connect with a solid line. And so now the question is, whenever we shade, do we shade above the line or below the line? Well, this is less than, so we're going to shade below the line. But if you wanted to verify by finding a test point, there's nothing wrong with that. I think we're going to be shading below the line, so I'm going to pick a point below that line. The easiest point, I think, to substitute is 0, 0. Now, if I'm right, and we are shading below the line, when I plug 0, 0 into our inequality, y is less than or equal to -1/5 times x, we're replacing x with 0, plus 2, I should come out with an inequality that is correct, meaning the left side should be less than or equal to the right side. And hey, what do you know? I'm going to, because -1/5 times 0 is 0, and 0 plus 2 is 2. And it turns out 0 is less than or equal to 2. That is a true statement. Since using my test point gave me a true statement, it means I'm going to shade the area that the test point is in, which is the area below the line, just as we suspected. And so that's what my final answer looks like. I'm saying I am including the line and all of the coordinates that are below the line.